Good morning, guys. Good morning. How's the weekend? Does everyone watch football or it's just Zara? Okay. I'll come into the new strategies that we're planning and why. But I wanted to talk about something a little different. Okay. I think the world is divided into two. Okay. Two different mindsets. One is people who control, and one is people who want to be controlled. Okay? That's it. So this was the whole reason why, if someone asks me why or what is the purpose behind 3x Capital, is that I hated being controlled. Okay? And if you can think of any sort of injustice, discrimination, racism, anything. Maybe I've gone through the full spectrum of crap, and post that, I'm like, how do you beat the system, right? Because there's always this, let's say, top 10%, and then there's 90%, and then in the 90%, there are different levels, and then you've got the underdogs, middle class, upper middle class, struggling, fake. But for me, it's just two people, control or be controlled. So I tried to create a system where everyone could become an entity in themselves, right? Like over here, the opportunity was not, because typically in real estate companies, what do you see? There are targets, things are forced, and there's a lot of pressure. The reason why there was no pressure in this company is because this company runs very differently compared to other companies, because there are 5 people who run the company. So it's like a solar system, There's one power source, okay? And then all the other planets revolve around it, and there are 5 planets who run the entire system. And the system runs, technically, with 5 people, this whole show can run. But the objective was, hey, you know what? We have something phenomenal going. We can maybe teach this or educate this, and because once you get that, money chases value chases knowledge, right? So if you figure out how to get that kind of knowledge, and that's it, you're free, man. But again, another thing, after 2 years, I've realized is that, there's a reason why the world is split into two, right? Because even if I want you to be independent, you should want to be independent, right? I can't change that mindset. And hence, that is why, Kamran came up with this fantastic idea where he was like, let's hire the best. So Kamran last week was on a different mode where he's like, you know what? Let's double down. Let's invest more. Let's get more. If anyone wants videographers, editors, let's hire it for them. Let's go to the next level. And I was like, if I hire more videographers, but no one's giving me commitment, what's the point? I'll just keep hiring videographers. So that's one aspect of it. If anybody needs extra support, we are willing. So again, circling back to the same concept, right? It's about independence. So we'll be investing. So if someone gives a clear plan that, hey, you know what? This is the plan. This is the monthly plan. We are ready to invest. Second, I'll be meeting the top lead generation entities in Dubai. Now this has been a big challenge. Over the last few months, I've been hunting them down because 99% are fake and crap, So there are only these 1% people who genuinely have generated legit leads for like really, really top agencies. So I'm having meetings with them this week. So that's the second source. Third, we'll be hiring some senior directors, who'll bring associate directors who will bring in their own team as well, So, and these will be from, again, I was overwhelmed by the responses I got. I was surprised, So I've got some phenomenal CVs, and so they will come. So how that model works is there'll be an associate director program. They'll hire their own team. They'll have a salary. They'll have a budget. They'll have a marketing budget. They'll have sales targets. So that will be a separate entity in itself. So yeah, lots of action coming in. But essentially, like, I really wished that this team over here, people would have mentally evolved a little more, because I think it's a great opportunity, right? You're not going to get people like me and Kamran who are not here with a whip and targets and work now and do 200 calls a day, do 100 meetings, show me your meetings, and because I thought I wanted to be amongst a group of phenomenal minds, come up with ideas, because I want to dominate the world, right? And so I thought, if I have people alongside me with that kind of mindset, because I realized that it's possible, right? Because the world is so stupid. It's filled with a lot of mediocrity. And we have such elite mindsets, and we've got such a phenomenon. Look at the backing we have. And if I want, like I said, we've got a phenomenal team in the US, we've got a phenomenal group of people in Australia, phenomenal group of people in the UK, in Europe. Now we are aiming at Singapore. We've placed seed capital in something in Singapore. I mean, can you imagine like what we can do, if we just put our minds together? So there are a few exciting things that are coming up next month. I think there are, my God, there are a lot of exciting things. One, of course, I'll be moving into a mansion, so a lot of videos will be like sort of shot from there. So I'll give it a serious lifestyle upgrade. See, it is what it is, So it'll be me inviting investors home. Can you imagine the level of videos then that'll go? Mansion, private pool, and people come in, and I'll have a studio in the house, and and I'll be inviting top level investors, entrepreneurs to my house. So it'll be like, welcome to Zohaib's home. So that'll be like, get a serious upgrade to our social media. Then that's one. Two, we are starting something with the handsome guy, with Rocky Handsome. It's called the Wealth Corridor. So I realized that, I haven't targeted the Indian market enough. And the Indian market is around 60% of the market of investors, and why not go hard? So that'll be a regional based channel where we'll be speaking in Malayalam, and we're going to target the South Indian market. And it's something that I think South India has not seen before. And it's phenomenal. And they haven't seen people like Rocky Handsome and me before either, so. And so it's like there's 1%, and it's like the commercial real estate market of Dubai, It's 3% of the market, and in the 3%, grade A, platinum grade, Two people with so imagine the discussion. Two investors, two businessmen talking about how to navigate the market. I think it'll be really, really phenomenal. There's another channel that's coming up. It's different, but it's going to attract a lot of leads. I'll give more details about that. We will be hosting an open house in Chandigarh, Punjab, where I'll be meeting some very serious political dignitaries. We had a phenomenal, ASIA organized a phenomenal meeting last week, and I'll give more details shortly, but that also another level where, we really hit the elite. What else? With Gibran, I'm planning something. Oh my God, Gibran opened up my mind. I love this, say why we're discussing these ideas are that, so you guys can maybe, maybe there's a concept that works, because I was shocked, like when So Gibran basically is into, so people who, I didn't know this, so people who didn't know this, Gibran runs a big subleasing business where he has a lot of both residential subleasing and industrial subleasing. So that's his primary source of income. That's why he doesn't care about real estate as much, you know. And so it's because see, I always knew this about Gibran. This guy's a hustler, but I didn't exactly understand what he does, you know. Then, so about buying and selling businesses, exporting cars to Africa. That's a big market over here. So that'll be like a separate, because see, I've had a lot of investors come in saying that, hey, you know, I want to get into some sort of business. So people are moving to Dubai who want to open up some sort of a business, you know, don't know what to do. So today itself, I'm going to give a very big investor to Gibran who wants to run a business. So this guy's moved in from Africa, originally from Gujarat, fully loaded, doesn't know what to do with his money, but wants to more of run businesses because for people who don't understand what Gujarat is probably the richest state in the whole of India. I mean, these guys are, let's say, the Jews of India, you know, like they're extremely rich and these guys can control, they understand control, okay? So I'll be connecting Gibran with one of those kind of guys and it'll be interesting. So that'll be another channel that, you know, so we try to hit all kinds of markets parallelly. So much fun, and like it is a lot of work, but see, I really enjoy, you know, and so there's one more really interesting sentence. Probably you guys must have heard it, but slowly is the fastest way to reach success. Means, and again, again, you must have heard this quite often, you know, if you can't run, walk, if you can't walk, crawl, but move, you know. My problem is when people don't move, I mean, how can you live with yourself just like being what you were yesterday, right? Like, another very interesting statement, you know, because the top of a mountain is probably the bottom of another mountain. So that's my mindset, you know, because for me, I've never because a lot of people have asked me, oh my God, you can chill now. Why are you working so hard? Relax. And I'm like, what relax? I'm still at the bottom of the mountain, you know. So I've got miles to go before I sleep. I've reached nowhere yet, you know. So because if you feel like you've reached, see, what's the biggest reason why agents close a big deal and then they start chilling? Because they've reached the peak in their mind. But in reality, probably they've not reached anywhere, right? But again, I cannot fix that mindset, you know. So this is what. So I'm discussing all these ideas because if there's anybody, you know. Oh, another very interesting. So we have this very interesting Hungarian investor. I told you last week, right? So I'll be hiring a team under him as well. So that's another avenue. So all these avenues are open for us. Right? So we've got now very strong sources in all these markets that I've discussed. And we're constantly building. Now, August could be tricky. Okay? It's peak summers. A lot of people are traveling. But we've always known that September, October, November, December are big, big months. Developers are not launching as frequently as before. So there is not a lot of stock to sell, but that's a great opportunity to build your brand, right? So like, for example, I don't know if you guys have seen my last two videos, but they've been performing really well because it's just, you know what? It generates lots of leads. It generates lots of inquiries, lots of interesting inquiries because I'm breaking the market, right? Being a market disruptor is so much fun because how do I break other people? Technically, right? Because when I'm in a market where everyone is talking about a specific product, and then there's this one guy who moonwalks in, and then he's just like talking about, like, what the hell? How did he think about this? That's how you disrupt the market, right? And then that's when people are forced to contact you, because when everyone's talking about the same thing and one person is talking about something different, something very technical, that's how you disrupt the market. That's why I told you, when I told you yesterday that, hey, you know, the next 4 months, So what's different in my YouTube strategy is that the next 4 months I'll be doing solo videos. I'll be the videos with agents. We could be in the form of will be in the form of podcast. Will be in 3x Capital, but my algorithm has informed me this, that you know what, investors want to see you, investors want to listen to you. So please, if you want to generate more leads and you want larger number of views and increase your subscribers, you have to talk. So so I'll be doing a lot of solo videos, but every single video is going to be better than the previous one. Like each one. So like, for example, so let's say the trend of my algorithm boosting up, first one was Dubai South Exposed. Again, you know, it was a complete different concept. Stuck seller was a concept. Okay, we took a really bad investment and we reverse engineered it, how to protect yourself. The next one would be is Abu Dhabi overhyped? Yeah. But you know, you'll be shocked on the context. You know, it'll be, at least people will start thinking, and then what's going to happen? They'll start thinking, and then they'll start connecting, because again, everything is based on data and facts, right? So post that. So I have a clear strategy on, you know, what kind of videos. So each and every video is going to really hit the spot, and I'll climb my way back to the I'm further ahead. So that's my plan, I've told you. And then of course there are multiple other plans that support the initial plan. And to discuss products, what products are we targeting at? I think everyone's now interested in Lunaya. Apart from Lunaya, then so there's Arancia, there's Raw District, there's Lunaya. Yeah, they're mostly gone. There's no point of lead generation over there. We could work on the commercial offices avenue. That's an interesting. But any other interesting product? Anyone thinking of anything?
Is Iman gone?
Is Iman gone?
Don't see this in my house.
Which one? Imar South, right? But will they launch in August? September, right? I don't think they launch in August. Then, yeah, Iman 118 could be interesting. Is it 118 or 113? I'm confused. It's nothing else? I guess you'll get some stock from Zoya. You know, something.
I think exciting.
See, excitement is.
Naya is there, but they are not releasing the buildings. The MAC was coming with a community, not anymore. They are giving that PLD waiver 0.25%. That's something exciting.
So
we have a game day from the MAC on 29.
What about Abu Dhabi?
Which one?
There's one from because the other day.
No, but it's gonna be easier days to book brand because they're gonna be less video.
So no, I'll tell you what I will plan these days. So if I want to sell something, I'll plan something Khalid on the valley. You know, I'll go to his house and shoot around the place. You know, eat, shoot, eat. You know, that's the plan. Then. And then I will go, I'm shooting with somebody from Union Square House. I'm shooting Opal Gardens, you know. So again, you know, there's so much interesting stock over there. I'm getting a lot of traction on Instagram. So what I'm doing is, for example, if there's any interesting deal, so I have a below OP deal in Acres. So I make a reel, I post. Till date, I'm getting leads on the Expo City townhouse that I have on the Oasis. So, you know, so I'll be... So that's another lead generation strategy that I have. Like if there's any interesting deal out there, you know, you can talk about it. You know, if there's any interesting community that you think, I mean, see Acres, Opal Gardens, Nadal Shiva Gardens, if there are good deals. The Valley, I think, is one of the best top places selling. So, you know, I'll be Oasis. again, I mean, technically around there's a lot of stock in Oasis, and for me, I can think of a lot of ways to sell Oasis. So these are the ways which I would think in this market. But you would have to talk about off-plan, secondary, off-plan, secondary, and then one more thing that I'll be focusing on is so in August, we'll have all the documentation ready for that fund. So it'll be a proper regulated fund, and then I will start talking about institutional grade assets. We're talking about schools, buildings, hospitals. Again, that is not your immediate lead generator, but it'll be very interesting. I just need 1 lead a month for that. So that'll be another lead generation aspect. So I'm just saying, again, these sessions, even the debates that we're going to start again. So this week we have Khalid and Yash. Okay, so a little tweak to that debate is going to be, okay, that let's suppose I'm going to act like I'm the moderator. Okay, I'll be the moderator. Okay.
You are.
No, I'm not. Actually, I really like Palm Jebel Ali in a funny way. Okay, hear me out. I have 20 million dirhams. Okay, I have 20 million dirhams. One of you guys have to convince me where should I put the money in. Okay. Right. So same structure of the debates. The debate structure will be similar, but at the end of the debate, I'll decide where I want to put my money in. Okay. So what this is going to what is the objective of these debates? It's critical thinking, how to think out of the box, how to push your mind towards realms that it's not been pushed before. If you think the same way every single day, then what's the point? There's no growth there, right? So we're going to just try and, push thoughts. That's all, right?
Sorry.
Okay. Anything else? Any interesting products? Any questions? Any doubts? Anything? No.
Zoid, for September to December, what are some of the big interesting projects that you know of?
See, September, I see for sure. See, September, my love is coming back. Imar will be back. Finally, I've been missing her for so long. So I'll be putting my entire focus on Imar then. And because there will be Imar South, there'll be Dubai Creek Harbor, So, 6, 7. I'll have a lot of options. Bay Villas. So the Bay Villas will come with Nakhil. Then Lunaya might come up with new buildings. Then Miraz might come up with a project called Palm Springs. Then what else? I don't know what. Beyond will keep launching. So we'll have this Aranshia situation. So on that Dubai land strip is very interesting. So I've been studying Dubai land a lot nowadays. So I'm studying the Dubai land strip. So I'm trying to identify what interesting projects could happen in that Dubai land strip. Because Garfoods is coming up quite well. So I'm still ideating on how I can position it and speak about it. But yeah. But I think but we can do a lot of focus on Imar, Nakhil, Miras, like the big guys, they'll all come back in September. September, October, November, December, my God, we won't have breathing space because everyone's going to hit it hard. So, but yeah.
UK and World.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fifth, fourth, third,
Second
yeah.
to the fifth.
Think politicians, you need to think, when we go any destination you think how you can target meeting at least a few extremely, now again, the difference between my road shows, okay, UK is branding, okay, and of course, and we're planning something very different for the UK also, in the art gallery, okay. But what I'm excited about with the places in India I'm going, I'm meeting at least 5 to 6. There's one eye hospital owner, there'll be one politician, there are at least 2 investors minimum. Do you get it? So try and meet at least 1 or 2 like top level individuals, But for the UK thing, I'll speak to a few people. I dealt with something in Shobha, and Shobha, I think, extended, in fact, 1.5 years. But yeah. But it's very, but they're very aggressive. The collection team is very aggressive. But yeah, liquidating, yeah. So that's why again, choosing the unit is really complicated, right? Like you have to choose the right unit. And that is why a lot of people prefer diversifying the investments, smaller investments, because liquidating them is a lot easier. If you're going for something big, you must have a backup plan and stuff in place.